And hello, welcome to solo playthroughs. We got a good one tonight, and I know I always say that. I'm usually right, so you just gotta trust me at some point. It's gonna be good. We are playing with the Itars, the cuddly yetis themselves. Man, they I tell you what, every time I look at the art, I'm just like, come on, just give me some narrative. I'm sure there's someone wrote like a fan narrative explaining all these factions. I should look up, see what's on BGG here. But the Itars are very cool. They're very different. You have a lot of ways to get a lot of tech tiles. That doesn't always mean a lot of points for me. We are going to have our work cut out for us because we are playing as the Firaks. I do find the Firaks not only one of the more complicated of the Automas, if not the most complicated, but oh man, they will definitely get in your way on that tech track. So I will just continue my streak of having plans to go up tech tracks and the Automa just running up a track saying, nope, you are not getting to the top of the economic track. I'm there first, or the navigation track, or we'll see where I want to go. I don't know. I'll see how the tech tiles kind of lay out here and see what the end game scoring conditions are and how we would want to proceed. So I normally do use gray when I am using one of the white factions, either the Nevlas or the Itars, that I just find that's better for the camera. But since I'm playing against the Firaks, well, it is what it is. Just gonna lean into it. I think it will work, especially with the newer camera that I recently got. So let me go into the setup. Let me tell this website, boardgamehelpers.com, still love it for setup. Let them know I am not a robot. They are asking me to label all the crosswalks. Let's see if I did it successfully. No, now I got to label all the bicycles. Oh, I did it. All right, good. We're going to go in here. And what is this setup going to be? Well, one thing I don't like off the bat, the tech tile in the terraforming track is going to be the 12 points. And that means that we're not going to be able to get up there to get another tech tile that we can use to jump into the highest level of another track. Is one of the things I like to do. It was a strategy I had in the last game, but I kind of messed up and I didn't conserve my Federation tokens enough to do it and pull it off. But here it is. So it's nice. It's 12 points. If we want to go up the terraforming track, I'll take 12 points, right? But it's not going to give me a tile that I can flip. I'd much rather have 8 points and then let me jump up on another track somewhere else and get into level 5, see if I can pull that off. Mind you, in my warm-up game against the Firaks ended up at the top of 3 of the 6 tech tracks, and I ended up on none. So maybe I shouldn't worry about getting up at the top of more than one and just stop being a little bit greedy in how I'm thinking about this game. So the advanced tech tiles, we are going to have the once around action of getting a QIC and 5 credit. We're going to have the one where you get 3 points for every trading station that you build from the moment you take that on. This one is you get 4 points for every trading station you have on the board at the time you take it. We're going to get 1 ore for every sector that we're in at the time we take this tile. In the economic track, we're going to get 1 point for every planet type that we have colonized every time we pass from the moment we take that on, and a once around action of 3 ore. So interested in some of those. That's a nice little point grab if we can make that work. Maybe even the sectors. We'll see how the board is set out. Remember, the Itars have some really nice ways of getting some tech tiles, so definitely something to consider. The standard tech tiles, we're going to have 4 credit every round in income over there on the terraforming track. We're going to have the once around action of cycling 4 power in the navigation track. In the AI track, 1 ore and cycle 1 power every round. Really like the location of those two. In the Gaia farmer track, we get 1 ore and 1 QIC immediately. Don't love that there. We will probably be going up the Gaia farmer track. It's one way to really tap into the Itars special abilities, which I will discuss in a moment. 7 points over on the knowledge track. You really don't love that there either. Probably means I'm not going to be going up the knowledge track this game because I really want to get income generators early in the game. And the later in the game you go, the less helpful it is to go up that knowledge track. What I just said there could absolutely change as I think more about it, but just my first impressions, folks. Economic track, 3 points every time you construct a mine on a Gaia planet from the moment you have that tile on. We have 1 knowledge and 1 credit in the bottom row. We have your planetary institute and your 2 academies count as 4 power for the purposes of forming federations. And then we have 1 knowledge for each planet type that you have. The Itars do not start up on level 1 of any of the tracks, neither did the Firaks for that matter. So we're going to be straight across the board. We do start with 1 QIC. Our ability that we have from the beginning of the game is when we cycle a power, we get to put a power into the Gaia bin. So we do start with 4 and 4. Again, most factions start with 4 and 2. So this will give us some extra flexibility that we can use this free action to lose a power and cycle a power without actually taking the power out of our bin. So again, that gives us two ways to get power in the bin. Then one's going to be the normal way, having a Gaia former and starting a Gaia forming project. The other way, though, is going to be this free action. And why would we want that there? Well, once we had the Planetary Institute built, we can voluntarily take 4 power out of the Gaia area during the Gaia phase of a turn to actually take a tech tile using the normal rules of taking a tech tile. Again, you'll advance on the corresponding tech track. If it's a advanced tech tile, you will need to flip over a Federation token, et cetera, et cetera. That's a very, very cool thing to do. Now, I've gotten all the standard tech tiles multiple times when playing as Itars and still lost those games. So again, you need to be careful how often you use that ability. When the end game scoring tile requires satellites, well, again, you have to be careful how much power you're spending to do the tech tiles if you need power to do some satellites. So there's a lot more balancing and multiple levels of having to think through your strategy and really how your strategy is going to translate to points to ultimately beat the Automa, right? So let's go to the rest of setup around scoring. We're going to get 5 points for building your Planetary Institute or your academies in round 1. We have 5 points for building your Planetary Institute or your academies in round 6. Again, nice in round 1, especially because I do think I'm pulling my Planetary Institute right off the bat in round 1. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But the Automa gets 0 points at the end of that round. But in round 6, they will obviously get 5. So we'll see what I do with my academies and if I have any incentive to build them earlier than round 6. Round 3, we have the tile that we get 5 points for rebuilding a Federation. Round 2, I know I'm doing this all out of order, just being totally wacky. 2 points every time we move up on a tech track. Round 4 is 4 points for placing a mine on a Gaia planet. Round 5 is 4 points for building a trading station. I really like that tile in the end. This could work really well. If I can get myself set up around 4, put a bunch of mines on the board, and then go to round 5 and build a bunch of trading stations, it's great. Now, building a bunch of trading stations against the Firaks is sometimes a problem because they tend to not spread out very much. So if they're not spread out very much, sometimes, again, you're looking at having to build trading stations with 6 credit each as opposed to 3 credit each. And if I don't have any trading stations on the board, guess what? I'm not producing that much credit. So all of a sudden that tech tile is looking really good to try to set me up for that in the second half of the game. Things I do want to mention about the Itars board before I forget later is when you build your Planetary Institute, not only will you have access to turn that 4 power to a tech tile during the Gaia phase, additionally, you will get +1 power and be able to cycle 4. Now that's normal. What's unusual about the Planetary Institute portion of the Itars board is even before I build the Planetary Institute, I still get +1 power, right? So the game is anticipating that you're going to be losing power at a faster rate than most factions. So it does make up for that to some extent. But moderating how much power you have in there in order to do the special ability is something you're going to look at. This power action, cycling 3 to get 2 power in your bin, is a very important action to remember as the Itars. Unfortunately, with the Firaks, they aren't going to be doing too much generally in trying to block up spots that we want to use. Except, of course, the one time in this game, I'm really going to want to do something and they're going to do it right before me. And it's going to be great. So the endgame scoring is actually very favorable for us. The first one is the number of buildings we have in Federations. And again, for the Automa, that's going to be the number of buildings they end up with on the board, -1. If for us, it's going to be literally the number of buildings we have in Federations. And the second one is going to be the number of sectors that we're built on. So for the rare occasions that we're building mines with the Firaks, we are going to have to make sure that the support card doesn't tell us to take that into account. We are going to now do our round boosters. The round boosters that are going to be in this game is 2 points for every trading station you have on the board when you pass, plus you get an ore and income. 1 point for every mine you have on the board when you pass, plus an ore and income. 2 power in your cycle, really like that for the Itars. And guess what? An ore and income. We get 1 point for every Gaia planet that we have colonized when we pass, +4 credit and income. And then this gives us a navigation of a 3, and we get to cycle 2 power. Do not love those boosters. And 3 being scoring is interesting. We'll see what we can combo here, but would prefer boosters that are going to give me more And if it is going to be a scoring booster, would much prefer something like this, where you can go for a nice 8 or 12 point passing round. Again, this is the one where you have 4 points for every planetary institute or academy you have on the board, or even the one that's just 3 points for every research lab. I find to be a little bit more beneficial for how I play, but I will have to adjust. It's the name of the game, right? Let's get this map set up. So again, you're using 7 tiles in a solo game. The tiles 5, 6, and 7 are flipped such that you only have the outline of the numbers. Do not use that. And again, Board Game Helper is going to set out our little map here. So I have tile number 7. That will go here, probably overlap on there a little bit. We need tile number 5. That's going to go over here. In the middle, we have tile number 3. We go here. Down here, we have tile number 2, I think. Yep, that's the one. It's going to go here. Over here, we have tile number 6. You can have transit planets next to transit planets. That is a little unusual because you cannot do that with the other colored planets. But again, Board Game Helper is set to give me a legal board. So that works for me. Over here, we have Sector 1, and over here, we have Sector 4. As the Itars, again, my home planet is obviously white. The planets that are only going to cost me 1 terraforming step to actually be able to colonize are going to be blue and gray. Gray is the home planet of the Firaks, so that's going to be a little bit of a race to make sure I snag at least one of those. And then 2 away is going to be red and brown, and 3 away is going to be orange and yellow. Up here, I already put one of my tokens on the white planet, put one of the Firaks tokens on the gray planet, and now I'm putting one of the Firaks satellites on each of the round scoring tiles to make sure I remember to score them at the end of every round. Again, you could just score all those round boosters right off the bat at the beginning of the game. I prefer to do it one at a time just to kind of have a little bit more show of the give and take in the scoring. Remember, the Automa usually gets out to a big lead, and it's all a matter of whether we can come back in the end. So I will let them get to that lead as opposed to them just starting 30 points ahead. It just feels a little bit better to me. But looking at the scoring tiles, it is pretty nice that they will not be getting that many points. They got 2 points in the first 3 rounds. That's it. In the second 3 rounds, they will get a total of 13. So it's only 15 points for the Automa. That's not that bad. Let me set the dummy third player for the purpose of endgame scoring. The dummy third player is going to be at 10 for the number of buildings you have in federations, and it's going to be at 6 in the number of sectors. So we should be able to surpass both those marks. At least that's the goal going in. The Firaks are going to put their initial 2 mines. They're going to put them on the 2 gray planets that are closest to the center of the board. This is 2 away. That is definitely the closest, and this is going to be the second closest, and that will be nice. Now, what's up with the Firaks? The Firaks have an ongoing ability that after they upgrade to a research lab, they will advance in a random research area. Random in the sense that we'll be using the support card that's out to determine what random research area they go up. Now, this is why the Firaks were able to jump up so much. But wait, they don't have that many research labs. Why would they jump up so many times? Well, the order of the cards and the way they came out in my warm-up game was pretty gross because they kept having more and more opportunities to do this. Because when upgrading through an Automa action, now this is only through an Automa action, this isn't every upgrade, but when you upgrade through an Automa action, you actually prioritize downgrading from a research lab to a trading station, and that has priority over normal upgrades to trading stations. So you'll be jockeying back and forth a lot between research lab, back to a trading station, back to a research lab. And every time you do the second half of that, every time you go back to a research lab, you will be advancing them in a random research area. And again, the order of how those cards come out can make a huge difference in how well the Firaks do and how great of a game that they have. Now, I do not find them one of the high scoring of the Automas, but they can really make your life difficult and also suppress your score in the process. I hope to get over 150 as I always do. I expect the Firaks to score between 135 and 150 that the Automa normally does, and we'll see how that plays out in this game. So I'm going to shuffle up these cards, and we're flipping that over, and we're going to get the middle round booster. That's going to be the round booster for the Firaks to start with. Move those over, and now we need to set up the Automa deck. The Automa deck is comprised of the 6 cards that have the green box at the bottom, plus the card that has the number 9 on the bottom, even though there's no green box. Again, I'm playing on the hard difficulty. That number 9 just adds another faction action into the starting Automa deck on hard. I'm going to shuffle up the rest of these cards. We're going to take the top 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 4 cards left over. They can just go out of the game. I'm going to put these over here. I'm going to take the top one. We're going to add that to the Automa's deck for the first round. I will not know what it is until it comes out. We will then shuffle these 8 cards. Again, it's the 6 cards of the green box, number 9, and the 8 card I just added. And this will be the starting deck. I'm going to put 3 cards sideways. That indicates that's possible end of the round if that card comes off and it has a red X at the top. And I'm going to put 2 little stones here to remind me, one, that that's possible end of the round. And I'll use a second one to remind me to make sure I score the Automa. Because as I said before, if you want to beat the Automa, the easiest way to do it is to not give them the points that they're owed. So there's one way to play. And that's the setup. Hat tip, Rodney Smith. All right, we are going to get our starting booster. The only one that's not points is the one that's going to give me +3 to my range, and that's kind of attractive. I do think it's going to make sense to do a lot of Gaia farming. I do think it makes sense to build my Planetary Institute. You know, there is that. Maybe I can hold off on Gaia farming for a couple of rounds and just try to get myself set up to do a lot of Gaia farming in round 4. Not the craziest idea. We do have a bunch of transit planets. So if I get up here, you know, I could do 2 Gaia farming projects. I can move 8 in here. I can bring them back, get some more tactiles. So we got some things that we can try to combo there. So I'm going to put 2 mines on the board to start. I do want 1 in the neighborhood of the Firaks. That's going to help me be able to passively get more power through my cycle. And then the second one I will put down here into the area of all these transiting planets, because I think that will really put me in a decent spot for future rounds, right? Plus, I expect that the Firaks will build a little bit, and with these Gaia planets here only being 1 terraforming step, they can potentially come into my area a little bit, which will help me get more power, again, because I'll be in the neighborhood of what they're doing. So I don't have a lot of moves that I love for my initial builds here. This is only 1 terraforming step. This is 1 terraforming step. I could take the navigation just to hold on to that QIC. Could try to shoot up to get to that level 2 navigation for next turn, which puts me in a place this turn where I'm most likely just building my Planetary Institute, moving up a tech track that way. I definitely am not building a research lab this first round because I just have so many other ways of getting tech tiles. Could hold off moving up on a research track as well to round 2. That will get me some extra points that way, especially when I was trying to get to level 2 of the navigation track, because I really think that's going to open up the board a little bit more for me. Try to get to a point where I'm doing a federation in the 3rd round to get those 5 points. I am the starting player, so I'm going to take that. All right, let me cycle 2, and I'll save the QIC this way, and I will maybe build over there on that blue planet. I could build in a Gaia planet. Oh, that'd be smart. All right, so yeah, I'm going to take the navigation, and I can use my QIC to actually build in a Gaia planet, which would get me 2 in the neighborhood. I like that idea better. So I'm going to do my income. I am cycling 2 because that's on my booster tile. Now I'm also gaining 1, so I could choose the order how I want to do that. I'm going to cycle 2 power, and I'm going to gain 1. The order didn't matter in this case. I could have done it in either order. It ended up at the same result. So I will leave that as is. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 ore. I go from 5 to 8. Again, you start with 5 ore. I have 1 knowledge. I go from 3 to 4, and then I have 0 credit. All right, my first action is I want to get this trading station built up, because if they upgrade, I want to start being able to use them to cycle power. So I'm going to spend 2 ore and 3 credit. So I go from 15 to 12, and from 8 down to 6. I'm placing this trading station right here adjacent to the Firaks. The Firaks are going to go. That's their support card. They are placing a mine. As I said, the Firaks are going to just place mines like crazy. It's what they do. All right, this was obviously the card added to their deck. So this is a good one for them, and it could make this a very different game. They're going to get 3 points every time it comes up, and it's going to build a mine range 2 away from when they have a planet colonized. The support card just has an X in it when it comes to the endgame scoring spots, so I don't have to worry about endgame scoring. All right, so range 2 from where they currently are. The only type of planet that has 0 terraforming steps is going to be the grays. They're very far away, so they're going to be looking at greens range 2 or browns range 2, because again, I'm on the whites range 2 that are near them. Closest to me is going to be this one. Oh, that's so gross. Because I was totally going to build on that Gaia planet. So they are instead building a mine there. We don't have to worry about satellites this game, so I'm not going to bother with that. and they're going to get 3 points. One, two, three. Well, on the really, 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 really small chance that they're going to build again, I best go ahead and take that planet. So now I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend one ore. I'm going to spend 2 credit. I'm going to spend this QIC, and I'm going to use this navigation here. So that gives me navigation +3. So it ultimately gives me a navigation of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The QIC is necessary to settle on a Gaia planet. I spent the ore and a 2 credit like normal. And now I'm placing a mine here on that Gaia planet because, wow, it's like that's the best way for me to get into this sector. I am thinking about that already. It also gives me another mine within the neighborhood of the Firaks, which is going to make it cheaper for me to build another trading station. The Firaks are going to go. This becomes a new support card. The Firaks are upgrading. Now, in upgrading, first priority is turning a trading station into a planetary institute. They don't have a trading station on the board yet, so second priority is going to be turning a mine into a trading station. That's here. It's the only one that's adjacent to me. Closest to me is the tiebreaker. I am going to be able to spend 1 point to cycle 2, and the Firaks are going to get 1 point themselves. My turn. I am going to cycle 4 power out into my Gaia area based on my special ability. I'm going to cycle these 4 in here, and then I'm going to cycle these 4 out and do a power QIC action. I think it's going to make some sense for me to get, I don't know, credit or ore. I feel like I'm always ore poor, so I will get 2 ore. 1 and 2. Great. The Automa is going to go. This moves over. New card. They are doing an Automa action. All right, so they're doing an upgrade. Now, if they had a research lab on the board, they would prioritize turning a research lab back into a trading station over turning a trading station to a research lab. Either way, the first priority for upgrading is always going to be turning a training station into a planetary institute. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I could spend a point to cycle 2. I will. 1 and 2. The Automa gets 2 points. They go from 14 up to 16. Now it's my turn again. I'm going to put another trading station on the board. So I'm going to spend 2 ore and 3 credit. I go from 10 down to 7. And I'm putting this trading station here. And that means if they upgrade again, I can continue to cycle some power because I'm in the neighborhood of that mine. The Automa is going to move that over. Their next action is another Automa faction action. They are now going to go upgrade priority. Again, still don't have any trading stations or research labs on the board, so we can ignore their special rules here. They're going to turn this mine into a trading station, and I'm glad I did that upgrade because now I can spend a point to cycle 2 one more time, and the Automa gets 2 points. Killing it. I'm going to spend 4 ore to get down to 1. And then I'm going to spend 6 credit to get down to 1. So I've spent a lot of my resources. See if I can rebuild that at all. And I'm going to put the training station on the board because I do want access to my Planetary Institute ability right off the bat next turn. That is done. I'm also going to get 5 points. So I go from 7 up to 12 because that is the round scoring bonus. The Automa's turn. Are they going to pass before me? They do, and that's probably good because I do want that round booster that they took to start the game. So they're going to take this booster as indicated by their support card. This is going to go here. This goes back, and the Automa is going to get 0 points because of the round booster. I'm going to go ahead and flip that over. I'm obviously not building an academy right now. They're going to take the rest of the cards in their Automa deck, add 1 card to it. So we now have 9 cards in this deck, and I'm going to go ahead and get some set up for the next round. They're going to take the first player marker. Again, we'll take as a first because they're not really covering up a lot of power QIC actions. Really isn't that bad. I'm in a place where I'm just going to pass, and I'm going to save that for knowledge because I think I'm just going to run up the navigation check anyway. The QIC now really doesn't make any sense, and if I do it later, I can get an additional 2 points. So I think that's just a little bit of a stronger play. All right, that goes there. Bottom 3 are turned, and the Firaks are ready to go for the next round, people. That is correct. I am going to pass. I'm going to put this over there. I am going to take the 2 power into my power cycle booster, and this is going to come off. And now we're going to go to the income phase. Remember, income phase always happens before Gaia phase. It's important to remember that when playing with someone like the Itars who does some funny things, where a lot of times you're like, oh, I wish the Gaia phase was first. Well, it's not. It's just not. Stop wishing. So what are we going to do? I am going to get 1 knowledge. I'm going to get 3 credit From there, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 ore. So I have 4, 4, and 5. I get 2 power and I get cycle 4 and I get 2 more power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle the 4 first, and then I'm going to gain my 4 power. Gaining 4 power is pretty nuts. Normally you wouldn't want to do that, but with the Itars, the more power I can play with in my cycle, the better. We get to the Gaia phase. I am going to not gain this power back. I'm just going to discard this 4 power, and I can take any tactile I want. I will take this tactile, and that's going to move me up here, and I get a QIC as a result of that. So the Firaks, as much as I was saying, they could really start running up this track. They have not run up the track at all, which I don't hate. Because again, the last time I played against them, they were at the top of 3 of the 6 tracks at the end of the game. Yes, I did not win that one. It was really rough. So the Firaks are going to go before the Itars because they passed before me. Let's see what they do here. Ding, ding. They are doing a power QIC action, and they are going to go 4 from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. They covered up the credit on me. Those jerks, they get 1 point. They get up to 19. Scoring this round is what? Scoring is 2 points every research area that we go up. So I keep saying tech track, research area, whatever you want to call it. That's you do you. I guess the real issue for me is I want to do the navigation track, and I think I'm going to try to get a Gaia former. So let me move up on the navigation track. Now I have range 2, which will really help, assuming I can find a way to get a Gaia former. Having this already built, this means all I need to do is build a research lab, and I can get myself moved up on that. So I feel pretty strong about that. I moved up on a research area, so I get 2 points. I get up to 14. Remember, I spent 3, got 5, got 2. So, right on his heels until he creates some distance. And look at him making another mine. End game scoring does matter. He's looking at a sector that he does not have a planet in yet, and it's going to have to be within range 2. That gives the Firaks exactly one option. The Firaks are going to place a mine right there. I am not in the neighborhood, cannot power off that. They are getting 1 point. Okay, so that's a thing. My turn. I'm not totally thrilled that the Firaks covered up this. Again, they don't do much with the QIC. Of course, they covered up the one I wanted this turn, but that's fine. I will cycle 1 power out to get another credit, and then I'm going to pay 3 ore and 5 credit to get a research lab here. And then with that, I'm going to take this tactile from down here. It's going to give me a knowledge and a credit in income, and I'm going to move up any track I want. Let me go ahead and get myself a Gaia former. I'm going to definitely be using that Gaia former this turn, and now it'll be good if I go here. This could be a nice little first federation for me, and I feel pretty good about that. I also probably should snag that planet while I have the chance. That's my only chance to get a gray planet, so I think that's going to make a little sense. I'll probably just do that next turn. Automa is doing an upgrade action. The Automa is going to upgrade normally. Again, this isn't special rules. They're going to upgrade a mine to a trading station. My turn. Let me cycle 4 power. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Automa's turn. They're doing a Firak upgrade action. Again, their priority would be to do a research lab down to a trading station, but since they don't have any research labs on the board, they are going to put a trading station here on their final mine. They're going to get 2 points for that. They go to 23. And once again, I can't power up that because I am not in the neighborhood. Their future upgrades, I will be in the neighborhood and can power up that, but now we're doing it the really weird way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle 3 out of here, cycle 3 into here, and that's a free action. This is also free action. I'm cycling 2 to get 2 credit, and then I'm going to cycle 3 to do this power QIC action, which is going to let me spend an ore and 2 credit. It gives me 1 terraforming step, and I can place a mine here. Again, navigation track gives me range 2. It's a little bit pricey. It's going to make my cycle very weird next round, but I think that makes the most sense. It also is going to give me the option to take 2 tech tiles instead of 1, because you can do the Itars special action multiple times in the same turn, and that might not be the craziest idea I have going here. Still pretty crazy, but maybe not the craziest. We'll see. Got some options here. What do we got? The Automa's moving up on a track. Of course they are. This is where it starts. So the Firaks are going to move up on a random track. 2 coming from the right. So 1, 2, that's there. First, get 2 points. They get to 25. Possible end of round for them next turn. I'm going to go ahead and start a Gaia project. So I'm cycling 8 power out of my cycle. And I'm going to put my Gaia former here, which is 2 away from this mine. I'm thinking about crazy things, kids. I got crazy ideas. It's going to be so credit poor. I hope they pass because I would really like their round booster. Please pass. Oh, they passed a first chance they had 2 turns in a row. So they keep on to the first player token. They're going to put this back and they're going to get this. I will absolutely be taking this round booster. They are going to take all of these cards, add 1, shuffle this up. They're getting 2 points because of the round booster. So they're up to 27. And I think I'll be able to do my first Federation next turn, which will really kind of open things up a little bit in a way that makes me happy. Automa is going to put 3 sideways. I already gave them their 2 points. This goes away, and that flips. My turn now. I will be passing because I have no power in my cycle. I have no ore. I have no credit. I think passing is the best idea I've got, right? So that's fun. I am going to put this back, absolutely take the round booster from the Automa. I appreciate the cooperation. And this is going to go here. Now I will get 1 point for every Gaia planet I have colonized. Not going to be many. Actually, it might be 2, which I guess for me is a lot pretty early. So that's pretty decent. Now I'm going to remove these and I'm going to go to income. My income is going to be 4 credit. Go from 0 to 4. Nope, 5 credit. Sorry. So 4 credit, 5 credit. I'm going to get 3 knowledge. Gives me 1 to 4, which is a really big get there. This tile is probably very big already. And I get 3 ore. So I go from 0 to 3. Now I'm going to get 2 power and I can cycle 4. So I'm going to add 2 power, yoink, and we'll cycle 4. How about that? We go to the Gaia phase. I'm going to take 8 of this 9 power out of my cycle. Remember, I can get 3 more power as soon as I get to the next level on the Gaia farming track. So that's something to consider. And I'm going to now be able to get 2 tactiles. First, I'm taking the tactile that's going to make my Planetary Institute worth 4 power. I can move up on any place that I want. And I do think it will make some sense to move up on here. Gives me 3 more power. Because I don't have a lot of power. And now what am I going to do? I'm going to take another tactile. I'm going to take the one from the terraforming track. It's going to be 4 credit and income for the rest of the rounds, but it moves me up here for now and gives me 2 more ore. So it's a really nice combo for me. Obviously, I'm not going up the economic track when I'm finding other ways to substitute for that, but getting up the economic track is probably my next focus. Now, I've already picked this a little bit clean. We'll see how much more I end up using that Itars ability. You know, I ended up getting 2 of the income tiles plus the one that allows me to cycle 4 power. This is the only income tile remaining. It might be worth grabbing that if I can this round and then just kind of letting things chill for a little bit, but we'll see how I want to play that out. The Automa is going to go first because they passed before me. And once again, they're going to cover up power QIC action right off the bat. 4 from the right, preventing me from getting 2 more credit. Oh, at the end of the Gaia phase, the 1 power I didn't discard would have fallen down into bin number 1 to join its 3 new friends. They're so happy together. It's great. Fantastic. Oh, also in the Gaia phase, this planet would have become a Gaia planet from a transit planet because I had a Gaia former there. If I can get 2 Gaia formers, it's going to be tough to get enough credit, especially since that jerk just covered that up. Remember, you could always spend ore to get 1 power. If I do 2 Gaia forming projects, that would be worth 8 points next round. So that's something to consider. So I will spend this 4 knowledge. I will move up on this track. I will get another Gaia former and I will cycle 3 power. Did the Automa get the 1 point last turn? It did not. That's why I use those handy dandy stones. Automa's turn. Automa is moving up on a research area. They're doing random number from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 points. My turn. I'm going to cycle 4. 1, and then 3 over. Automa's turn. It's doing an upgrade action. So it's a normal upgrade action. It's not a faction action. So it's going to do a trading station to a research lab. This is the one that's closest to me. Now, whenever it does that, the ongoing ability triggers. It's going to move up in a random research area. 5 coming from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Of course, it's off to the races in the economic track now. it's going to get 1 point. Now, I also could spend a point to cycle 2. Since I can only cycle 1, instead of having to spend 1 point to cycle 2, this is a rule actually I learned from a commenter, which I really, really appreciate. Comments are so huge in these videos to really help me make sure I'm not teaching anyone anything wrong, because I hate when that happens. So again, because I'm only cycling 1, I would just lose points equivalent to what I cycled, with the ratio again of -1 to how many power I cycled. So I'm cycling 1 power, -1, I have to spend 0 points. That just happened because I'm in the neighborhood. So that's super nice. I'm going to cycle 4. I already have a bunch of credit and income, so I'm going to use that to get 2 ore. So it gets me up to 7. Even if I only get 1 Gaia farm project, it was still important to get up there, because remember, now a Gaia farm project is only going to cost me 4 power for my cycle as opposed to 6, and 4 power is exactly what I need to take a tech tile next round anyway. So that kind of just makes for better math. Automa's turn. Automa is doing a power QIC action, 1 from the left, gets 3 points. It goes from 31 up to 34. My turn. I am going to spend 1 ore and 2 credit. So I go from 7 to 6 in ore and 5 to 3 in credit. I'm placing a mine here on this Gaia planet. 2 Gaia formers. Try not to do what I did in the Terrans game when I when I just didn't even realize I was using a Gaia former I hadn't earned yet. It's like, oops. The things I see when I'm editing and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Like, how? What happens to my brain? I don't know. All right, the Automa is going to go. The Automa is doing an upgrade action. Again, this is not the faction action, so they're doing normal upgrade priorities. Normal upgrade priorities is mine to trading station. There are no mines on the board. Again, the fact that they built 2 so early was very weird. It made for a very unusual game for them, and probably not a very high-scoring game for them. So we'll see if I can take advantage of that. After that, their next priority is going to be Research Lab to Planetary Institute. So that's going to go there, which is nice because now they don't have a research lab on the board. So if they got on the Automa action, they can't even downgrade it. I'm going to be able to spend 1 point to cycle 2. Does that make any sense for me? Does that make any sense for me? These are the questions I ask myself. I don't think it does. I'm going to want 4 power to cycle out. No, I'm not going to do it. The Automa is going to get 1 point. They go from 34 to 35. I'm spending 2 ore and 3 credit. I'm back to 0 credit. Getting those 5 credit was huge, and getting the 5 credit next turn is going to be equally nice. I spent the 2 ore. I spent the 3 credit. I'm turning this mine into a trading station. Automa's turn. Automa's placing a mine. Endgame scoring does matter. So they're looking for a planet on a sector they do not already have a building on. That does not exist. So we just ignore in-game scoring. Now we're going to do normal colonizing priorities. They're looking for a gray range 2. There are none. Looking for a green range 2. That's out there. A white range 2. There are none. A brown range 2. This one is right here. So I'm going to lose out on my chance to colonize that, which is fine. Still think I made the right choice there. The Automa is going to place a mine. I could spend a point to cycle 2. Still doesn't make any sense. And Automa gets 3 points, so they go from 35 up to 38. I am going to start a Gaia forming project. So I'm going to cycle those 4 out of my cycle. I'm going to place a Gaia former there. It'll only cost me 4 power. Automa's turn. Automa is potential end of round. Nope, they are doing a faction action. So what are their priorities? Now, had that research lab still been on the board, they would downgrade, except it's not on the board. So they are going to now make this mine into a trading station. I can spend a point to cycle 2. I can't. I have literally nothing to move along in the cycle. Automa gets 2 points. Nope, that's me. I get 2 points. So another way. So 2 ways to win. Don't give them the points when they deserve it, or just take the points yourself. It's even better. I am going to do some funny free actions here. I'm going to cycle 2 power to get 2 credit. I'm going to spend an ore to get another power in my cycle. And then I'm going to discard all 3 of this power to be able to place 3 satellites. 1, 2, 3. Do it this way to make sure it's not adjacent to that in case I want to build another federation off of that Gaia planet. I am going to get 5 points because of the round booster, because I formed a federation. So I go from 14 to 19. More specifically, I ended up getting a federation tile, right? Even if I got to the top of the terraforming track, it still counts for 5 points. And now I can take whatever federation tile I want. Will clearly any more power in my cycle. It's kind of a thing. So I'm taking this federation token. I'm going to get 8 more points. I go from 19 up to 27, and I get 2 more power in my cycle. The Automa is going to go 1, 2. They do have another turn. They're moving up on a track. They're going to move up on the economic track. They get no points. Oh, I do not want to go ahead of the Automa. I'm trying not to pass, but I don't think I got a choice. I could build a mine there just to delay things, but honestly, I think it probably just makes the most sense just to get that tile anyway. I'll just take the first player back. First player back. Now, when I pass, I get 1 point for every Gaia planet I've colonized. I've only colonized 3. The Gaia former there does not count. So I get 3 more points. I go from 27 up to 30. And I'm going to take this one. The Automa is going to finish off their round. And the Firaks do go through their entire deck, which is fine. I got lucky. The first 2 rounds, I was due for them to have a longer round. They are doing a faction action. They are upgrading to a research lab now. Closest to me is this one. I'm going to go there. I could spend a point to cycle 2. Sure, I'll spend a point to cycle 2. It actually will help me a little bit next round. The Automa gets 2 points. They go from 40 to 42. And additionally, since they got a research lab on the board, their ongoing ability, they're going to move up on a random research area. 1, 2, 3, 4 coming from the left. It goes up there. Automa goes again. They have no more cards, so they end their round. They're going to take this round booster. This goes back. Automa's going to add a card. They get 0 points from the round scoring tile. And I'm going to shuffle up their deck. So they have a total of 9, 10, 11 cards going into the next round. Again, the bonus scoring for me is going to be putting mines on Gaia planets. So I have 2 prime targets. Getting up in that navigation track early has really proved very helpful. And I do want to expand into the various sectors. I am in only 3 sectors still, which is not a lot by any means. I feel pretty good about where I'm at and my ability to get some serious points in the next couple of rounds. See if that actually works out for me. That's going to go there. We are going to go to income. So I'm going to get 4 power and I can cycle a total of 4. Get 2 power from that booster, 2 power here, and I can cycle 4. Oh, these clear off. I'm going to take 1 power, cycle 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get the other 3 power. So I could do that because I gained 1 power, I cycled 4, I gained 1 power, I gained 2 power. I couldn't like cycle 1, gain a power, and cycle 2 more. As long as you take every source separately, you're fine. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 ore, which gets me from 3 up to 7. I have 1, 5, 8 credit, which gets me up to 2 up to 10. So that's been working out well for me. I get 1, 2, 3 knowledge. I get from 0 up to 3. Wish I had 1 more for sure. And I think that is all of my income. I think that's all I get. All right, Gaia phase. I'm going to turn this transient planet into a Gaia planet, and I'm going to discard this for power to grab a tech tile. We'll take, what planet types am I on? That's a good question, Greg. I don't think I'm on any other than Gaia and this gray one. Probably don't want to mess with this tile just yet. Extra ore income is super tempting. The 3 points from that, I'll tell you what, is tempting because I'm going to be doing that twice this turn. I probably want to make a little bit of a run up the economic track. So we're chasing those 6 points, and I'm probably going to be building a lot more. I say yes, because I mean, you have transient planet, Gaia. I mean, that could be a nice 12-point boost for me. Again, it doesn't get me into a lot of other neighborhoods. Navigation track is also something I've neglected a little bit. Not sure I want to do the AI track. I mean, if I just punt the economic track altogether, I wonder if there's any sort of wisdom in that. I'm thinking no. One thing I didn't mention earlier, the Planetary Institute here gives you 3 knowledge and not just 2 like it does for most factions. So even though it's worth 5 points to build the Planetary Institute in the 6th round, there might be some wisdom to build that this round, and maybe I would take that tech tile. That's 7 points, plus I get +1 knowledge every round here on out. That's a little bit enticing for sure. And the final 3 rounds, so general rule of thumb again is you're chasing ends in the first 3 rounds and points the second 3 rounds. Definite argument to do the navigation track. I do want to get to the top of that. That lost planet could prove huge in just kind of putting me in a place to really get all those sectors. Yeah, I'm going to take this. It's a little weird. I think that's going to make the most sense. And I only have, again, 3 planet types. I go from 3 to 6. I did pass before the Firaks, so I go first. Oh, and since I did that, I jump here. I cycle 3, and I get a QIC. I'm going to spend a QIC, an ore, and 2 credit. Place a mine here because of the round scoring. I get 4 points. I go from 29 up to 33. Toma's turn. Toma's moving up a random track. 1 coming from the right. They're going to do that. No points. I'm going to spend this QIC. 1 ore, 2 credit. Let me place a mine over here. It's going to give me 4 more points. I go from 33 up to 37. Automa's turn. They're doing a faction action. They are doing an upgrade, and they prioritize downgrading from a research lab before upgrading to a research lab. So they're going to downgrade that. Now, that does not trigger the ongoing ability to go up in a random research area, but I can spend a point to cycle 2, which is perfect. 2 points for the Automa. They're up to 44. I'm going to cycle 4 while I have the opportunity to get 2 ore. Automa's turn. They're doing a power QIC action, 2 coming from the right, 3 points, 44 to 47. My turn. I'm going to cycle 4. Automa's turn. Doing an upgrade action. They're going to upgrade a trading station to a research lab. Ongoing ability triggers. They move up on this track. I can spend a point to cycle 2. I will. Automa gets 1 point. Oh, shoot. I did things out of order. I couldn't build that there because I wasn't where I thought I was on the navigation. So I'm going to just do that now. It literally made no difference. The Automa had no chance of getting out here. So let me get to level 3 in the navigation. And then on this turn, I would have done that. So sorry about that. Sure, I put a big bubbly comment by the time we got here. So you would have been well aware of me screwing up. Automa's doing a power QIC action. They're going to cover this. 1 from the left, get 1 point. So they're up to 49. It's my turn. I have range 3. Trying to be smart about getting into all the sectors. Snag that. This is a rough sector for the Itars to build in. Trying to think where my third ration could be. This is definitely going to be my second. I'd like to be in a place where I'm closer to the Firaks. It's going to be really hard to take advantage of that tile next round because I'm only going to have 1 mine within range 2 of them. You know, those advanced tech tiles. I'm just trying to figure out these Federation tokens. I don't know if it's going to make sense for me to grab any of them just because of the Federation token cost. I want to get on the top of all 3 of these research areas, and I think I have a chance. So I'm going to basically just punt the AI area and punt economic, which was super rare for me, and now it seems to be a thing that I do. I'm going to spend 6 ore, 6 credit. So I'm going to put this here, replace that with that. I get a tech tile. I'm going to take this tech tile. It's going to give me an ore and a QIC. I move up here. I get my last Gaia former. Automa's turn. They're moving up on a random track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming from the right. That goes up 2 points. They go to 51. My turn. I'm going to lose 1 to my Gaia area, cycle 1, cycle 4, and get 7 credit. I got lucky they didn't take that on me, so I go from 0 up to 7. Toma's turn. Toma's doing another power QIC action. 5 coming from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3 points. 54. My turn. I'm going to spend this ore and 2 credit. Place this mine here. That's going to give me 4 points. Go from 35 up to 39. Again, there was a big argument to take that. I just feel like I was able to do a lot more things by moving up the navigation track. I got 4 points for doing another thing there anyway. I think this made a lot more sense with where I was at. And I will probably grab that lost planet next turn. Toma's turn. Faction action. They are going to downgrade. They're going to do a research lab back to a trading station. Now I could spend 3 points to cycle 4 because again, this is worth 4 power. I do not want to do that. That just seems insane. The Automa gets 2 points or the 56. My turn. I am going to cycle 3 out of here. And I'm going to put Gaia Former here. Don't have enough power to do 1 more. I could spend an ore. I don't think it's worth it. I think I'm going to need every bit of ore I can get for next turn. Fine with that. Atoma's turn to potential end of round. Nope, they are placing a mine, and they have to do it in a sector they don't have a building on yet. They can't. So we're just doing normal range 2. Looking at Gaia planets range 2, that will do. I think that's the only one they really have an option for. Great. They're going to put a mine down there. Get 1 point. Obviously, I'm not in the neighborhood. Automa gets to 57. My turn. Yeah, I will pass somewhat reluctantly. I pass first, and I'm going to take... That's the one I want. Maybe I shouldn't pass. That's the one I want. Why do you take it from me? Why do you hate me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I could get to that white planet. I could extend my range. I would really like this. I would really like every single bit of credit I can get. A little gambly though. No more Gaia planets, so obviously this isn't huge. It doesn't look like I'm doing many of the QIC actions. If I get there, I can put the lost planet here, and I can get there. I'll have range 4. That might make some sense. All right, I'm going to spend the 1 ore, the 2 credit, this QIC to extend my range from 3 to 5. I'm placing a mine over here. That will give me another ore back next turn. So obviously the credit's the bigger problem. So I'm risking 2 credit. Hopefully I will be able to get 4 back. Please be the end of the turn. It is. All right, so that gamble worked. Toma's going to get this. They're going to get 2 points from the round booster. They go from 57 to 59. Grab this. So they're going to have 12 cards in their deck, and they get the first player token back. Made some very weird tech choices this game, and I think it might pay off. We'll see. We shall see. If I can get 3 trading stations out, that's a lot of points. And if I get my last academy out in the last round, that's 5 points. So should be able to make this work a little bit. This is going to go here. I'm going to pass. I'm going to take this over here, grab this. That's a nice amount of points for me too, because I have so many Gaia planets, and I'll put that there. We go to income. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knowledge. I go from 2 up to 7. 1 away from awesomeness, but still pretty good. Move these off. I get 2 power. I can cycle 4 in any order. I'll add 1 power, cycle 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Add another power. So many tiles here, it's nuts. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I go from 0 to 6. I have 3, 4, 8, 12 credit. I go from 3 to 15. And I have no QICs, and I did everything else. Feel moderately strong about that. I'm going to move this out. It's going to let me take this tech tile, which means I have to flip this. I'm going to put it on top of this. I get 3 more points for every trading station I build. I can move up on any path that I want. I do not have another Federation token yet to go into level 5 of here. So I'm just going to move up on the terraforming track, see if I can't get to the top of that by the time this is all said and done. Automa does go first. 1 and 2. Automa is doing an upgrade action. They're upgrading a mine to a trading station as their first priority. Again, we're not doing the faction action. They do have 1 more trading station. I'm not in the neighborhood yet. My turn. I am upgrading this mine to a trading station. I'm spending 2 ore, 3 credit, placing this. Every time I do a trading station, I get 3 points, plus the round booster is 4 points, so I get 7 points for that. I go from 39 to 46. The Automa didn't get their 1 point from last turn. They're going to go again. They are moving up on a random track, so they've really been very low on these tracks for a Firaks game. They're going to move up on that, 0 points. Firaks might have the most range in what their scores are. They'll rarely get above 150, but they can definitely have some duds of games. We'll see if this ends up being one of them. It's really made me not feel rushed at all on the tracks, which has been really nice. I am going to lose a power, form of federation. So 4 power, 5, 6, 7. I put a satellite there, and I get to take a federation token. Federation token I want is going to be more credit based on what I'm trying to do this round. So I'll take the 7 points. I go from 46 to 53. 6 credit. I go from 12 up to 18. And I did forget in the Gaia phase, this terraformer should be on a Gaia planet now. The excitement never ends. I am super low on power. Toma's turn. Toma's doing an upgrade action. They're doing a trading station. Again, this trading station becomes a research lab for like the 3rd time, I think. Moving up on a random research area. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ding. I could spend a point to cycle 2. Actually, I could spend 0 points to cycle 1. I get 1 point. I'm cycling these 3 to get 2 more power while I have the opportunity. Toma's turn. Moving up on a random track. They're moving up on this one. 1 from the left. They get 2 points up to 63. I'm going to cycle 4. Help me evaluate the rest of this round. Toma's turn. Toma's covering a power QIC action. 5 from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They color the knowledge. 1 point. If I can get a 4th federation, it'd be so huge. 4th federation, I can get maybe that and still get onto the top of that. As I said, the first thing I put out when that was the 12 pointer, I'd much rather it to be another federation token because it just gives me more options. But that's going to have to do. It's my turn. I'm going to go 7 to 3 with my knowledge, move up and get the lost planet. That gives me navigation 4, and I can put this anywhere. I'm going to put this over here. It looks crazy, but I want to make sure I get the sectors. Means I guarantee I'm going to beat this dude with what I want to do next. So Thomas' turn. They're doing a faction action. They are downgrading again. Ooh, that closest to me. This is their super priority. This comes here. Doesn't trigger the ongoing ability. I can spend 3 points to cycle 4. That I will do. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only gets 2 points. So you go from 64 to 66. I'm going to cycle 1 out, move this, move these, get 2 ore. Gets me up to 6. Toma's turn. They're doing a power QIC action. 2 from the right, 3 points up to 69. My turn. I'm going to spend an ore and 2 credit. Put this mine here. It is range 4. And there's no terraforming steps because it's a white planet. Me in the neighborhood there is going to save me some credit. Toma's turn. This goes here. They're going to do an upgrade action. Again, this is a normal upgrade. They're going to upgrade what? Well, they have no mines on the board. They're upgrading a trading station into a research lab. They now have some competition. They are going to do coming from the bottom. So it's going to be this one again. Since they upgrade to a research lab, they move up on a random track. They're going to move up on this one. I could spend 3 points to cycle 4. I do not want to do that this time. They're going to get 2 points. And I can't do it partially unless, again, it's the last power that I can cycle. And that worked out to my benefit a couple of times already this game. My turn, I'm going to spend an ore and 2 credit. Place a mine here on the Gaia planet. Toma's turn, possible end of round. It is. They're going to get the middle. This goes here. We're going to give them their last card. They're going to get 6 points. So they go from 71 to 77. Won't flip that just yet. 13 cards going into the final round. They will retain the first player. So it's all me now. I'm going to cycle these 3 out, and I'm going to put a Gaia former here. See if I can't get 7 power there next turn. It's going to be really hard, though. I'm going to spend 2 ore and 6 credit. I go from 14 down to 8. I'm going to turn this mine into a trading station. It's going to be 7 points. 4 from the round booster, 3 because of my advanced tech. I go from 50 to 57. I'm going to spend 2 ore and 3 credit because now I'm in the neighborhood of that trading station. That mine into a trading station, I get 7 points. I go from 57 to 64. I can't even do another Gaia forming project. I do not have enough power in my cycle. That's now a 14-point tech tile for me. Oh, shoot. I don't have a Federation token to take it. And I think I'm only going to get 1 more Federation. So that is the end of my round. Flip the round score. And then I'm going to get 1 point for every Gaia planet I have at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 Gaia planets. So I go from 64 up to 70. These come off. I will take points are tempting, but I think I'm going to need the power. I need 8 power total. Build 2 more Federations. Let me do it. Let me get the 2 extra power. Let me do it. Yeah, I'm going to get the power. I'm going to try to get these last 2 Federations. Big difference in scoring here. So let's make the magic happen, right? We'll have enough power if I can make it work. So I'm going to get my income. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or I go from 0 to 6, which is not a lot. So the terraforming track will really help. So we'll see if I can pull that off. I'm going to get knowledge 1, 4, 5 knowledge. I go from 3 to 8. I'm going to go with credit. I get 5, 10 plus 11. I get 21 credit. I go from 5 to 26. So 15 and 11. Advanced math, I know. And I get 4 power and I can cycle 4 power. I'll gain all 4 and cycle 4. In the Gaia phase, I'm not going to discard these 4 to get a tech tile. I'm just going to move it into bin 1. The Automa did pass before me, so they are up. All right, make the magic happen. The Automa is going to go. They are doing an Automa action, so they're going to downgrade again. I could spend 3 points to cycle 4. So I can't decide. No, maybe. This would have come here. Yeah, I will. So 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Cycling 4. Not forming Federations for a while. So let's see if I can't make some magic happen here. The Automa does get 2 points. All right, I will cycle 4. So 1, 1, 2, 3. Should have enough power in here to kind of make some stuff happen. Automa's going to go. They're doing an upgrade. They're doing it again. From the bottom again. Oh, 3 points to cycle 4 one more time. Oh, I just spent 9 points doing this. All right, they're gonna go up on a random track. They go up on this track. We'll spend 3 points to cycle 4. Tommy gets 1 point, and they've literally turned out into a research lab 6 times, I think. I'm gonna cycle 4 to get 2 ore. Toma's turn, doing a power QIC action. 1 from the left, 3 points. They go from 80 to 83. My turn. I'm spending an ore and 2 credit, cycling 3. Let me do this terraforming step. Wow, that's still open. I'm going to place a mine here. That's only 1 terraforming step. You can kind of see what I'm trying to set up here. Oh, it's going to be tight. Be tight. Toma's turn. Goes there and there. Power QIC action. 1 from the right. 3 more points. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power there. I'm going to move up with my knowledge to here. I cycle 3. I moved over that jump. Toma's turn. This goes here. This goes here. Toma's doing an upgrade action. The normal research action. So their priority is to turn this research lab into an academy. It could spend 3 points to cycle 4. I think we're officially at a stage where that doesn't make any sense. Toma gets 2 points. They go from 86 to 88. I just can't keep spending 3 points a pop. Good news, no more research labs, so the Automa actions aren't going to make them keep jumping up things. Remember, that's 4 points a pop for them. My turn of spending these 4 knowledge to go up here. That gives me 2 more ore. That gives me 9. Toma's turn, doing a Automa action. They don't have any research labs, but they are going to upgrade to a research labs. They're going to do this here. I can spend a point to cycle 2. Doesn't make any sense. They're going to move up on a random track. They move up on this track, and they get 2 points because it's a faction action. I'm going to spend 3 ore to get me down to 6. I'm going to spend 5 credit to get me down to 4, or actually it's 4 plus 15 to 19. Putting this here, that means I can take a tech tile. I will take this tech tile. So give me 7 points. I think I'm 64 to 71. I move up on the knowledge track. Obviously, not high pride right now. I'm not going to take those 7 points. Give me a 64. I'm going to take this tech tile. I want that QIC. Make a big difference. Toma's turn. Toma's going to do an upgrade action. It's going to upgrade this or this to a research lab. It has no more academies. Directional selection from here. I am not in the neighborhood. They're going to advance on a random track. They're taking this off the board. 1 point. My turn. I need to have a Federation token before I build the academy, so I can take that tile. Yeah, so or 2 credit going there. Toma's turn. Placing a mine. Endgame scoring matters. They're looking range 2 in a sector they're not in already. None of those exist. So they're just going to place a mine normal. They're looking for grays, obviously none. Looking for whites or browns, range 2. There are none. Like literally, there isn't a single planet range 2. I have boxed in the Automa. That is insane. If they can't do a build a mine though, then what do? They do an upgrade action. So that's a little unfortunate. So they're going to put their last research lab on the board. I can't power off that. Wouldn't want to anyway. They are going to go over a random track. Every time they upgrade to a research lab, they go up on this track. So it's 4 more points for them. And they are going to get 1 point. They literally can't upgrade anymore either. That's the thing. I'm going to spend 2 ore and 6 credit. And I'm forming a trading station here. That gives me a total of 3 points from my advanced tech tile. So I go from 64 up to 67. Toma's turn. Toma's doing a power QIC action. 4 from the right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 point. My turn. I'm forming a federation. I'm going to discard 6 power. Put on 6 satellites. That's 2, 3, 4, 5 power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7 power. That federation, I'm going to take the 7 points and 2 ore. So I go from 67 to 74, and I get up to 5 ore. Oh, the joys. And now I have a Federation token. The Automa's turn. Potential end of round. Not they're placing a mine. They literally cannot place a mine anywhere. It's only range 2, and they can't upgrade. So they're just done. They're just done. They get 3 points anyway. They go from 93 up to 96. My turn. I am going to form an academy, spending 5 ore, turning this QIC into my 6th ore, spending 6 credit. I go from 11 down to 5, placing this here. That gives me a tech tile. I will take this advanced tech tile. I'm going to flip this token. That's going to let me move up on any track I want. So I can't move up on this track or this track because I don't have another Federation token to flip over. I'm going to move up on this track and get a QIC. So in epic Greg fashion, when I was doing the postscript for this video, I was wondering, like, did I ever score for this advanced tech tile? And I realized, no, I never did. So whatever my score is between now and the end of the video, you should just add 14 because it would be worth 14 points because I am in all 7 sectors. That's just a thing that you shouldn't do. So I'm glad I could do it for you to give you that prime example of how to not play this game in a way. If you want to win it, you generally want to score your 14 points every time you actually get that opportunity. I know, crazy ideas, and you're welcome. You can thank me later. All right, hope you're enjoying this one. It was really fun to play. Back to the action. Automa's turn. They are done. Their game is over. Oh, I get 5 points. I built an academy, so I go from 74 to 79. Automa's gonna get 5 points at the end of the round. They go from 96 to 101 because of the round scoring. That is the end of their game. I am definitely gonna smash the Automa in both of the endgame scoring, and I'm pretty sure they finished in last in both. Yeah, so they finished in last, and I finished in first on both of these. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 structures. I've already beat the dummy player. So that's how that scoring is going to go down. I am going to do this action here to get a QIC. I'm going to turn these 2 QIC into ore. That's 2 ore. I'm going to move 1 out into here, cycle 1, cycle this to get me a credit. I'm going to spend the 2 ore and the 6 credit to make this into a trading station. Oh, I freaking have no more trading stations. Hold on. All right, where can I place mine? Can I place a mine? This will work. I gotta place a mine there. Terraforming costs are only 1. This is a nutty game. I'm spending this ore for a terraforming step, this ore for a mine, these 2 credit to place a mine here. Now I'm discarding all 3 of these power to form a federation. That's 4, 5, 6, 7 power. That's going to give me enough to take the 12er. And I'm going to go from 79 to 91. Weird game, kids. Weird game. All right, end of the game. I can turn these 3 credit into 1 point. That gets me to 92. End game scoring. The Automa is going to get 12 points because of end game scoring bonuses, 6 for each, so they're to 113. They're only going to get 8, 16, 20 points for the track, so they go to 133. So definitely a low scoring game for them. I'm still not sure. I think I should have overtaken them pretty handily, it seems. So I'm going to get 18 points for the endgame scoring for each. So that gives me a total of 36 points. So 92 plus 36 is going to get me up to 128. And then I'm going to get an additional 12, 20, 28 points from that. And 28 points from that gets me up to 156. Cool. That was a crazy game. That was as min-maxy as they come. Getting to 4 federations and having to figure out how to do that. It's a hard game when you're not doing that economic track. And I kind of liked that I'm finally able to turn that corner where I can sometimes win without the economic track. I needed every single ounce of everything. I needed every single power. I needed every single ore, every single QIC, and just kind of backed into this last federation where I was like, oh, wait, that's not 7 power yet. How do I do it? Oh, great. I have the QICs and I'm already up at the top of the terraforming track. So it just totally came in handy there. What a cool game. I'm really excited to edit this up. Would love some feedback. I did get the 14 points for that, right? Yeah, I must have. So yeah, this was a big tile. Getting 2 advanced tech tiles is highly unusual for me, but it just kind of worked out, and just leaving both of this would have been back here. I never grabbed it. This leaving both of those there as I did was pretty wild. Just doing navigation. Obviously I normally do that. The Gaia farmer thing you're going to want to do with the Itars, and then it was just a matter of kind of looking at the terraforming steps, looking at the 4 ore you get as you go up, and just knowing I was going to need that. Once again, I was really able to piggyback the mines on Gaia planets and the trading stations. Those back-to-back round scoring tiles are pretty strong. It just was weird though, because again, I was pretty credit poor, so I had to find ways to cobble together enough credit, and that's where that 4 credit a round comes in really huge, and was really able to just kind of piece something together. That was a cool game. I'm excited about that. It was a very satisfying victory. I mean, the score isn't overwhelming, but I scored over 150. It makes me happy. Automa definitely got a little it was weird that they weren't able to run up any of those tracks. If they get a couple of cards where it's like they go up their highest track, oh, they go up their highest track again. They were just all missing from their deck. But they get a couple of those cards, and all of a sudden they're off to the races, and the Firaks will just absolutely crush you. But they pretty much stayed out of my way. I only got to the top of one track anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. As long as they stayed out of my way for the navigation track, they really wouldn't have been in my way, right? Because I got as high as I was ultimately able to on the other couple of tracks. Choosing to spend my Federation tokens for advanced tech tiles is an interesting strategy. Had the terraforming track not been the 12 points at the top, I would have definitely gone in there, had another Federation token, and would have been able to pile on some more points, probably 10, 15 points more, when you really kind of figure out the math from the jumps and then the extra, Federation tokens and, stuff like that. I think we scored with around scoring in every round, right? The first round was a Planetary Institute, second round was the jumps, third round was a Federation token, fourth round, Gaia planets, fifth round, trading stations, sixth round was getting the Academy on the board. Really liked, how that all came together. That is that. Any questions, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. I will get back to you as soon as I can, as I always do. If you want to see what's coming up on Solo Playthroughs Land, you can go on my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. I have a schedule out that I put out about a week before every month, listing the schedule for the month to come. So be sure to check that out. If you have any requests for content you would like to see on this channel, definitely put them in the comment section below. Some of my favorite games in the world right now I never heard of until someone put it in the comments. So Dawn of the Zeds, especially X-Huntinator, I'm looking at you, sir. So thank you again. All right, that's about it. I am blabbing as I am prone to do, so I will cut myself off here and just say until next time, happy gaming.